And we were hitting them hard on the media, and the world was seeing the actual truth. They tried to use their conventional media to push the line, but they couldn't be able to suppress the social media. And when they saw that the unknown government could not be able to achieve their aim, they went ahead to form their Abuja. Today, you see what the Abuja is doing. You see the evil their Abuja is perpetrating everywhere. When they started initially, people thought it was for good. People thought it was good. They didn't know it was a counterfeit. They started by killing their fellow politicians. They used them to go and draw debts. Enugu State was people that first protested, or Abuja State went to the house and said to disband them. They protested and they stopped. And Opuzeduma continued on his own side to use the Bible to kill innocent people. They would take their life and they would take the Biafran flag and put there and put the barrel and say, this is an ESN. They have been doing it for a very long time until their cup got food. Chukwu said, enough is enough. And they were all exposed. These are a bunch of criminals. All the politicians in Biafra, no one is exempted. No single one is exempted. All the politicians in Biafra, they are all criminals. They're all criminals. Worse than any other party can think of. They are even worse than politicians in the north. Politicians in the southeast are politicians. They are worse than politicians in the north. Politicians in the north, at least they are supporting their northern people. They are supporting their own people. You never see them bring military to kill their people. They are protecting their own people. They are promoting their own people. But in the southeast, what do? They kill their own people for foreigners. They take the life of their own brothers and sisters because of the caliphate. Just to be relevant. Just to make their paymaster feel that they are doing something. They will take the life of innocent people. And they want us to be silent. Of course we can be silent. They want us to continue to feel like slaves. Today, what they are doing in Biafra land is show of force. They are using their military to show their force. They are using the Bubango to show force. They are using the terrorists to show force. They are using the Fulani terrorists to show force. They are using the Bubango and all manner of forces to show their force in Biafra land. At every slightest thing, they take your life because they want us to stop talking. But they can't stop Biafra because Biafrans are free people. We are free-born. We are not slaves. We are free-born. And we know that in Biafra land we have kings and queens. Those are what we have in Biafra land. We don't have servants. And we are not ready to rule over anybody. We are not ruling anybody. Neither are we pursuing to go and occupy any land. The land we are trying to protect is our own land, our ancestral land. That is why we are interested in. That is why we want to protect. We are not interested to dominate anybody or to control anybody or to take any land from anybody. We want to protect our own land. We want to protect our own land and make sure that our land is independent. Is that a crime? Tell me how is a crime. Is it a crime for somebody to protect that which belongs to him? How can you interpret that to be a crime? When you go to somebody's house to attack him, and the person come out to protect himself, and you call the person a criminal, does it work that way? When you know that self-defense is the right of every human being living on the planet Earth. And when you go to a man's house to attack the man, in the United States, if you go to a man's house to wage war or fight against him, you go to jail straight. You leave your house, you go to somebody's house and begin to fight the person himself. You go to jail. You go to jail for leaving your house in the first place. Why must you leave your house and not in a neutral gang? You leave your own home, you go to somebody's home and you fight that person. You go to jail. But what do we see in the Solitary Republic? That's how become the norm of the day. The Fulanis will live wherever they say they are coming from, and they come, they want to occupy land. Not just fighting, they want to destroy, they want to commit genocide, take the life of the citizens and go occupy it. And nobody is saying anything. But those of us who are free-born, we say something. Because we know we are free people. Today, you got to free your mind. The chains has been broken for a very long time. The chains have been broken through Mazin Nandekam. All you need to do today is to free your mind, and you receive the freedom. And the remaining little thing that left, our brother Simon Ekpa is still continuing to lay a foundation on that chain, broken chain. He's continuing to remind us of that broken chain. Every chain has been broken. including in the IPOB that we'll be talking about. We're talking about IPOB that Martin Nandekano established with good intent. Martin Nandekano established IPOB with good intent. And some evil men entered into IPOB and they changed it. They changed it and put people into captivity, put people in chain. They put people in chain. You cannot say a word. You cannot fight for the side. Neither can you speak up. When you see something going wrong, you keep quiet because you took an oath. They created that chain. They created another cave. This one is the one that you see Biafra has created for themselves. Mazen Nandekano established the IPOB for the Biafrans to be free, for us to have freedom, for us to have freedom of speech. But some criminals came into that IPOB and they created a chain, they created a cage, and they want to cage everybody inside. You must not speak. When you talk, they will tell you command and control. Command and control that Mazen Nandekano instituted with good intent. He himself that made that command and control, they disobeyed him. They threw him by the corner and they are promoting themselves, talking about command and control. And that chain also was broken to pieces by our brother Simon Ekpa. Through our brother Simon Ekpa, that very chain was broken into pieces. It was broken into pieces. It doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. If you are still one of those who is still holding on that chain, you are just one chaining yourself. No chain is holding you. No chain is holding you. The chain has been broken. The chain in IPOB, the chain, that cage they built in IPOB, our brother Samuel Ekpa, Chukwu used him to break that chain and destroy it and expose every hidden thing. Today, everything is in the open. All those evil people have been chased away. You are now a free man. For those who are still hanging around, all you need to do is to free your mind. Free your mind and face reality. When you free your mind and face reality, you begin to see the actual effect of Biafra. You begin to breathe Biafra. You begin to see Biafra as a reality and not a dream. You begin to see the reality of Biafra. It will be in your face every minute of the day. And you will catch the fire. All you need to do is to free your mind. Free your mind. Free your mind from captivity. You are no longer in captivity. Mazen Nandekano break the major chain. He didn't only break that chain for Biafra, he broke that chain for every indigenous tribe in Nigeria. Every indigenous tribe in Nigeria, the cage that they placed every one of us and locked the Mazen Nandekano, Chukwu used Mazen Nandekano to break that key, and everybody was out. And when everybody came out, people realized where they came from. People can now boldly come and tell you where they come from. And now someone will tell you that I'm Hausa. And now someone will start boldly and tell you that I'm Hausa. And Igbo man will tell you I'm Igbo. A Yoruba man will tell you I'm Yoruba. A Ijaw man will tell you I'm Ijaw. A Calabar will tell you I'm Calabar. A Dada man will tell you I'm Dada. Any people now claim they are, including the Fulani themselves. Including the Fulani. Fulani today, it is Mazen Nandekano that even gave them the boldness to begin to say that they are Fulanis. The boldness that they have today to call themselves Fulani, it is Mazen Nandekano that gave them. Initially, they were all answering Hausa Fulani. Every time they hear Hausa Fulani, they were hiding under Hausas. They were hiding under Hausa, committing all their evil, creating bad name for the Hausas. They were hiding under them. But Mazen Nandekano broke that chain and pushed them out, and they were forced to begin to answer the Fulani they have. That is why today you see them, they no longer add Fulani Hausa to their name. They say they are Fulanis. If you don't thank Chukwu for anything, thank him for that. For Mazen Nandekano, whom he has used to break that chain, and people begin to identify themselves as who they are. That freedom has come already. It has come. But we are walking into the total freedom in 2023. Total freedom, the establishment of Biafra. The declaration of Biafra in 2023. It doesn't matter how they try to stop it. It doesn't matter. They can't even stop it. They can't. How can they? They can't stop it. They can't. Because the people have spoken. Biafran people want to go. And they are ready. They are not ready to compromise anything. Conduct a referendum. Just give them a referendum and you will see what is going to happen. Conduct a referendum. Nobody is asking for war. All we are asking for is referendum. Conduct a referendum. Once you conduct a referendum, if the Biafran people choose to remain in Nigeria, so be it, including myself, we remain there. If the majority of the folks will remain there, Whatever be the outcome, we'll face it. But conduct a referendum. But if you choose not to conduct a referendum and you're coming with war, of course we are not going to fold our hand and begin to watch you. We are going to give you back equal measure what you are bringing to us. We are going to give you back exactly what you are bringing to us. We're going to give it back to you. Whatever you come with, you receive. Because we have a genuine request. And the world is hearing, the world is listening, the world is watching. They are saying, as long as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, our supreme leader, is innocent, every single Biafra all over the world, we are innocent and we are demanding for the right thing. When you have that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime, the United Nations have confirmed it. That he is a free man. Why must he be in jail? That tells you that every Biafra agitator, any place you are, you should be proud of yourself that you are doing the right thing. Your request is honorable. You are making an honorable request to have a life of your own, to build a life of your own, not to be removed or controlled and be directed on what to do and what not to do. Not just controlled by people who are not qualified to be your servant. People who are not qualified. If you are screening for people you take as a servant, the Fulanis are not qualified. They are not qualified to be a servant to the indigenous tribes in Biafra land. They are not qualified to be servant to indigenous tribes in that country called Nigeria. They are not qualified. They are not qualified. But you see these unqualified people all of a sudden have risen to the post of authority, reached the rank of authority, and now they want to make everybody look like them. They want to make everybody look like them by force. That is why they are bent on destroying education. They are destroying education by all means possible. Schools in the north are shut down. No more operating. They have been sent to Abuja. Abuja of all people, Federal Capital Territory, schools are shut down. And they are talking about insecurity. Not just insecurity. That is the demand of Boko Haram. When you hear Boko Haram, you know the meaning of Boko Haram. That education is forbidden. That is the meaning of Boko Haram. Education is forbidden. Boko Haram simply means education is forbidden. And each time you shut down a school, it means you are a member of Boko Haram. Any government that shut down school, it means that government is government of Boko Haram. If you're not government of Boko Haram, you will make sure that every school in your area is functioning. Closing down school should be the last thing you will ever think of. When you know that the people you are fighting are people who say that school should be shut down. Western education should be shut down. And all of a sudden, you are playing to their hand. You are closing down schools, telling pupils to go back home. There's no school, counting insecurity. They have succeeded, that is what it means. The Boko Haram agenda is completed. You're just helping the Boko Haram to complete the agenda because they say they don't want Western education. And when you are shutting down schools, of course you are doing their bidding. Who knows? Maybe that is one of the demand they made from Asorock. Even though one will know that they have an inside in Asorock, they have their leader in Asorock. That is why they put the shut down school in a place like Abuja of all people. The Federal Capital Territory is supposed to be the most secure place in the whole country. They are shutting down schools, telling people to go back home, and calling about insecurity. How long shall we continue to listen to this bull crap? Of course, we cannot continue to listen to that because we know who we are. We are not slaves. We are not slaves and cannot be. For those who want to be slaves, who have decided not to open their mind and receive the message of truth, those that have refused to open their mind, they have made their choice. They have made their choice. That's their business. They have made their choice. And when one Nigeria happens to them, because it's definitely going to happen to them. One Nigeria will definitely happen to them. When it happens to them, I pray they will be alive to tell the story. And if they are not alive to tell the story, well, all to them. Whatever anybody sows, that you will reap. Whatever you sow, you reap. You sow cassava, you reap cassava. You sow yam, you reap yam. You sow cocoyam, you reap cocoyam. You cannot sow cocoyam and you reap cassava. It doesn't work that way. That is why every Biafra must stay at alert. We are free people. We are free people. The chain is off already. The chain has been broken. Chukwu Okike Abiyama has broken the chain in our hands through Mazen Nandekan. And in IPOB, there is no member of IPOB today that is in chain. They are no longer in chain. Chukwu Okike Abiyama used our brother Simon Ekpa to break the chain in IPOB. He used Simon Ekpa to break the chain. So if you are still one of those who is saying, I don't know who to follow, I don't know who is saying the truth, you are telling yourself lies because you have refused to open up your mind. If you open your mind, the truth is going to come to you. Just open your mind. Remove sentiment. Remove hatred. Remove my townsperson, my town this. Remove all those sentiments in your mind. Open your mind with a free mind. You're going to know who to follow. Chukwu Okike Abiyama will speak to you, not me. Not even me. Chukwu Okike Abiyama will speak to you and tell you who is right and who is wrong. Nothing is hidden today in the planet Earth. Nothing. In the struggle of Biafra, nothing is hidden anymore. Nothing is hidden. We know who is right and who is wrong. We know who is pursuing the coming of Biafra and who is not. So, if you're one of those still pretending you don't know this, you don't know that, well, you are actually deceiving yourself. That's what they're doing. But I bet you, majority of Biafrans, we know who we are following and we know who we are listening to. So the chain has been broken. And really, we are listening to a spokesperson that we know, somebody that has an address, somebody we can see, somebody who can call and talk to. He's a spokesperson. Somebody that listens. That is kudos to every Biafran. All you have to do is to open up your heart. Open up your heart. Do not allow yourself to be used. Don't allow you to be used. Today you see some people who have been expelled, all those confusions that are coming. In the issue of the Abuja that is happening in Biafra land today, you saw Biafrans on their own initially. Biafrans on their own, out of anger, they show their anger. When this issue happened, they showed their anger by protesting the first day or second day, and then a sit at home was declared to mourn our 14 brothers that were killed. In that sit at home that was declared, Biafrans happily sit at home because we know that is the only weapon we have. We cannot come out to protest to avoid loss of life because we are dealing with animals. We are dealing with animals. But while we are busy asking Biafrans to sit there, while we are busy mourning the death of our 14 brothers, there were some people who are rejoicing. Who are rejoicing for the death of our brothers. And some of them were busy pushing the propaganda that Biafrans should not sit at home, should not mourn their dead. That our brothers and sisters should not mourn their dead. But Biafrans are smart people. Biafrans listened. On that day, every Biafran, in the shortest distance time, 2 days interval, people sat at home to mourn those 14 people. We mourn them. We mourn them. Then after the infiltrators have seen that they have been defeated, what do? They begin to raise other campaign of protest. These are the same people who never support anything protest. They never supported anything protest in Biafra land. The same people who never supported protest. When we are organizing protest, the Monday sit at home, they hated the Monday sit at home. They spoke about it. They even invited the DSS to go and begin to arrest people. They begin to point Biafrans to the DSS. All of a sudden, they came and began to circulate their secret information of calling for protest. We are not against protest. The autopiloters are not against protest. Simon is not against protest. But what we are saying that the situation at hand does not permit us to protest outside. That is why we don't engage in protest. The situation at hand does not permit it. Because we are dealing with criminals. We are dealing with mad people. We don't want to lose life anymore. We have lost a lot of lives. We have lost a lot of lives. Each time when we come out, they are going to take lives. Each time when we come out to protest, they will take life. Each time we come out to protest, they will take life. And because of that, initially they were accusing Mazen Nandekan. Remember when we were protesting? Each time we come, they shoot at us, they open fire. Even while we come to pray, we gather to pray, they shoot at us. When we gather to train, they shoot us. When we gather for meeting, they shoot us. And Mazen Nandekan went on his knee and prayed that Chukwu gave him the revelation of the sit at home. And he began to implement sit at home. That sit at home has become the only way we are using to show our grievances without losing lives. Because the life of Biafrans is precious to us. We don't want to continue to lose Biafrans. All of a sudden, people begin to go underground to begin to circulate information about open protest. They want to hijack the protest that the people made by themselves with their hearts at the initial time. when the issue happened. They made their point known, and the whole world paid attention. We sat at home, the whole world saw it. Instruction was given. No more Ebubago in Biafra, and Ebubago remains out of ban. We ban Ebubago from Biafra land. We are not looking for anybody to go and tell them not to go. We ban them by ourselves, and we don't want them in Biafra land. And there are people that are assigned that have
are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and get the point that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you, if you come and stand in the way of freedom. So you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We crush you.
Their interest is suppressed. Biafra is the key. Once they can hold Biafra down, they can hold all of Africa down. Hey, freedom fighting, sorry. Because all these people are criminals. They are saying there is no way this man cannot be a criminal like themselves. They don't have a different breed altogether. They don't know that. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I don't do all this nonsense you do. My father was a very rich man, not ostentatious. I had the finest education that his money could afford. We are not poor. Have never been. That is why a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. If you're not full of yourself, you cannot be a freedom fighter. You go everywhere. We must continue.